All right, what's going on, world? What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna jump right into it. It is road trip prep day, or evening at this point. I just got done cleaning off the car, gave it a little clay bar. We're weird humans, right? We just get everything all clean just to go get it dirty again. But anyway, on to the instant gratification for you guys. So I got my two road trip prep things right here. So first one is a relatively, not a new idea, but it's a relatively new company, and they're called RoadTrip Tape. So we're gonna be applying that to, to the headlights, to the top of the windscreen, and of course, to the side mirrors, and probably to the fenders as well. Sorry I'm recording this on my phone, but the camera's charging. And obviously we're not gonna do everything in road trip tape because I've also got a Novistretch car bra. Now, as you can see, this has a Challenger on it, but I emailed Novistretch myself and they told me that it is usable for the Challengers and the Chargers of any of the new years. So the Novistretch should take about 10-15 minutes to install. All it requires is just taking out some of the little pop lugs in the wheel wells, and then the road trip tape, like I said, relatively new company. We're gonna get to installing that right after we do the Novistretch. So give me a couple minutes and I'll show you guys exactly what it takes to install a Novistretch for your Challenger or your Charger. So stick with us.
A few moments later.
All right, YouTube, and we're back. So that took me about not even 2 minutes. So with your purchase of a Novistretch bra, you get these two little guys here. So you can see that this is a button, technically a button, but it's got a little screwdriver in it. We'll get to that in a second. And you've got these little clips that go into, or that technically your screw button will go into. Screw button, that's a funny word. Anyway, so there you go. You remove your bottom and your upmost rivet there, and that is where you insert your clip and your buttons. So let me go do the other side, and then we're gonna install that bad boy. And there you have it. Whole process took me about 5-10 minutes. As you can see, you just got your little bands that are connected to these little plastic numbers here. Same. And then get a look at the buttons in action. So that's basically how they work. And really, once you torque them down, I mean, your plastic is back in place. So this kind of sticks out a little bit, but I think it'll stay secure. And then on the very bottom, I haven't actually attached that yet, but then on the very bottom, it is a little piece of Velcro backed with some, I'm assuming 3M weather tape. Obviously did not put that on the paint, but put that on the service panel on the plastics so I can remove it later. But that way the bottom stays nice and secure. So I'll take this on the road and I'll give you guys an update with how it did throughout the road trip. So now let's put on some road trip tape, and I'm sure that's going to be easy too, so stick with us.
A few moments later.
All right, and a couple minutes later, the road trip tape is applied. Now before we all criticize how I did my taping, I did this in more of a hurried fashion, so it would be more of, a legitimate real world test. So first thing I can see is that on plastics is not as adhesive, but for, well, should I say more for the vinyl stuff. Plastics like this, the headlights, it's very adhesive. But these sort of like, vinyl plastics, not entirely the most adhesive. So we'll see how that does at highway speeds. But on the paint and everything else, it sticks just fine. I see really nothing flaring up just yet after my application. Obviously there's just some stuff flaring up because I missed it and I haven't really patted it all down yet, but here's everything applied. I got just a little razor blade there in between these big old fitment panels, and I just carved it ever so slightly so that way if I need to lift the engine, I can lift it without tearing off all the tape. Here are the mirrors. The mirrors came out pretty much the best. I mean, they're nice and torqued down there. Nothing's really come up off of those. And I also did just a little bit over the roof there too. So all that's taped up, all that's ready to go. Sure, it looks a little goofy, but some sometimes we do goofy looking things to protect the investment, right? So this Hellcat is all ready for its journey. And other than that, I'll see you guys on the road. All right, ladies and gents, so it's about 5:30 in the morning right now. I was about 20 minutes into my trip and I had to pull over because it sounded like my car was gonna fall apart, like it was rattling like to hell. So found the first weakness of the RoadTrip tape, and that is the vinyl wrap, so the carbon stripes on the Hellcat. That is kind of a no-no for regular strength RoadTrip tape. Now I'm told that if you get the extra strength RoadTrip tape, which is for like fully wrapped cars, fully ceramic coated cars, fully like recently waxed cars, it's a little bit more water based of an adhesive. So I guess we'll see. Maybe next time I'll have to get the extra strength RoadTrip tape for going all the way across. But so I basically had to take off all the stuff on like the top of the windscreen here because I've got the dual carbon stripes on it, and those didn't last very long. Also, it's very, it's not bright in here. Also, it is very humid in Florida, obviously, because it's mid-May. So I had to find out that the other little bit of a weakness is if you have any gaps in it, that that humidity is going to get right in there and it's going to start to peel it off. But so right now, so far so good. Other than that little hiccup, the mirrors are still good, the entire front of the car is still good, and the Novistretch bra is holding on fantastically. So I'll give you more updates when I come to a complete stop next time, because this isn't safe, so stick with me.
A few moments later.
Alright, stopping for some gas. And as you can see, we have a lot of RoadTrip tape down, baby. A lot of RoadTrip tape down. But it is also, you can see a little bug spot right there. It is also doing its job. So it's stayed to the headlights. It's more or less stayed to the mirrors. Pretty much gone from the A-pillars because of the vinyl on the hood. Pretty much gone from there. Still good on that headlight, and mostly good on this mirror here, peeled off a little bit on the bottom. So I think that's what I'm going to stick with. I didn't bring any detailing materials with me to wipe it down, but check out the Novistretch already doing its job. So I think for later usages I might have to get extra strength RoadTrip tape, only because I just washed the car and then applied it. You know, hopefully I've done it to a clean surface, but I'll let you guys know how it goes for the rest of the trip, so stick with us. Alright, so that makes our second pit stop. This time I got a little bit of food and got some more gas. So it looks like all of the RoadTrip tape that was left on has stayed on at this point, so that's a plus there. The Novistretch bra is doing its job. I ran through a couple of roads that had mowers on and stuff, caught all that debris and stuff like that. The only issue I'd say I'm noticing now is that at some point some of that debris within the gaps of the tape is getting in there and it's causing it not to stick anymore, so it's kind of like degrading the adhesive. But other than that, all the RoadTrip tape now that is on the mirrors and the headlights has stayed, and it's caught a couple of bugs too. So at this point I'm pretty much halfway done the trip, so I'll get back with you guys when I'm totally finished with the trip and we'll see how it all ultimately did. So stick with us. All right, everybody, and we have made it. It's been about 10-ish, 11-ish hours on the road. You know, I had to stop at my, I don't know if you can see it over there. I had to stop at my local Walmart, pick up some stuff for the bug debris. So I got some glass cleaner. Then I picked up, you know, a couple of micros and some good old Mother's waterless wash for the car. So now that I'm done doing that and the car looks a little bit more presentable, I'm gonna get back to you guys as soon as I get really stationary with my thoughts on how the Novistretch bra and how the RoadTrip tape went. So, all right, everybody, so let's talk about it. RoadTrip tape and Novistretch, I guess, soft touch material bra. So as you can see, the Hellcat has made it safe. About overall 11 hours on the road. Sorry, I'm still a little jet lagged from all that. But 11 hours on the road, I just finished wiping it down with some Mother's waterless wash, so it's always got to look good, you know, it's always got to look good. So, my final thoughts on Road Trip Tape and the Novistretch bra. So, the Road Trip Tape, let's just get it out of the way. If you are someone who cleans their car religiously, if you're someone who cleans your car religiously and your car is always, it's always fresh, it's always looking good, it's always waxed, or it's got some sort of sealant on it, don't even go for the regular strength Road Trip Tape. Even Road Trip Tape on the website recommends that you use the extra strength because it's more of a water-based adhesive. So that was a hard lesson that I learned immediately on the road. I cleaned the Hellcat pretty much the night before. I then Road Trip taped it up the night before, and most of it came off. So everything, even with the vinyl wrap, they even recommend the extra strength for the vinyl wrap too. Now, since my car wasn't fully wrapped, I didn't really take that advice, but I should have. But so here are the positives. So on the mirrors, it stayed, maybe 1 or 2 pieces came off, little pieces that I had here and there, like, you know, patch up little holes and stuff, but mostly on the mirrors, it stayed right on. I got a lot of bugs. I think I got some pictures of it in the last video, but I got a ton of bugs on the mirrors, pulled it right off. Nothing happened to the paint. Paint was pristine. On the headlights, it stayed on the entire drive as well. Caught some bugs on the headlights too, peeled it off, no bugs on there. Now, on to the Novistretch bra. So the Novistretch bra, all in all, took me about 3 minutes to install. Like, you guys have seen the buttons and everything. It took me about 3 minutes to install. Put it on, applied the little Velcro to the service panel so you can take it off at any time. It stayed on the entire time. I had no rattling issues. Let's see what else. I had no wind resistance issues because, you know, it was so thin, the wind just passed right through it. So everything on the Novistretch was great. By the time I looked at it, it had gathered up all of that debris and stuff, and it was all on the front. Most of it had fallen off anyway, so nothing was going into the engine compartment, nothing was going into the engine bay, nothing was getting sucked into the supercharger, so that's a good thing for me. All in all, Novistretch bra, get it. But here's the good trade-off. The Novistretch bra costs about $120 to $150, 180 something if you want to go for the goofy side mirror covers too. So if you don't feel like spending that kind of money, here's a good trade-off. Get Road Trip Tape. But if you're someone like me who religiously cleans your car and your car's always looking fresh, make sure that you get the extra strength. Or if your car is wrapped, or if your car is freshly waxed or ceramic coated, make sure that you get the extra strength Road Trip Tape. All in all, both of them great products. I will continue to use them, especially for, even if it's like 10-minute road trips to a car show or something like that. Keep the car looking fresh. That way I don't have to spend all my time doing what I just did here. Even still, it cut down a lot of wipe down time. I say they're both good products. I say go for them. Road Trip Tape, about $11, $12 plus shipping. Novistretch bra, you can find it on Amazon. You have to go for the Challenger one, but like I said, I emailed Novistretch. They told me that it works for Challengers and Chargers, and that costs you, yeah, somewhere in the $150 range. But, you know, if you're preparing for a road trip, sometimes you gotta make that investment to protect the investment. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a like if you really did enjoy it, and of course, if you're stopping by for the first time or if you haven't already, hit that support button for me, and let's keep the movement going. But as always, take care, YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next one.